and welcome back. What I wanted to ask was, what is going on in the United Kingdom? Are we transitioning in the United Kingdom from a democracy into globalism? Who's in charge of the United Kingdom? So now I've been doing a wee bit of research over the times I've been off. I've been doing a wee bit of research, okay, into the, how can you say it, the good guys, the bad guys. Oops, that's one to come out. So who's running the United Kingdom? Was it the good guys or is it the bad guys? Okay. So you've got to watch what you're saying in YouTube now, because of the, you know, they don't want you to say certain things, you know, which in a country that's supposed to get freedom of speech is a bit kind of, So who's running the United Kingdom? I mean, we've never really lived in a democracy, we live in a monarchy. But it's even worse now. I'm getting the feeling. So is there a shift going on? So are they... Right, that was that. The two. That's one, two, and that two. I mean, it's as if we're sleepwalking right into something that's not good for humanity. And we're sleepwalking right into it, especially in Scotland. Especially in Scotland. Okay, so right, so are the good guys, are they running the show in the UK, or is it the bad guys? Is it the I've got to watch what I'm saying, you know, the is it ANG? I can't, my like, bleh. So who's running the UK? The good guys or the bad guys? Well, whoever it is, doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Oh well, wait a minute. That is my card that I use for the deep state, okay? But it was reversed. So it looks to me as if they're not running the show. They're not running the show. And it was that way as well. The fight backs began, and I see this as the people, because more and more people are awakening to what's going on, especially in England. Scotland, we're still asleep. We still think that the SNP are the be all and the end all, and it's trying to wake them up. It's trying to wake up the rest of the people in Scotland to think that the SNP, the sunshine's out there bahookie, as we say in Scotland, when it's most certainly doesn't. The rule is coming to an end. The rule is coming to an end. Do you know, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm seeing like pitchforks at the ready. Not actual pitchforks, but that mentality of, we're going to have to fight, we're going to have to fight, we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to fight, 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 we're going to the people are going to, the people have taken enough, and the fight back has started. It has started. Okay. I feel as if it's like well balanced. For some, the bad guys are still in power, okay, but they're getting exposed. They're doing extreme stuff to expose themselves, well, to be exposed. It's as if, know what it's like? It's as if the good guys have them and they're making deals. You do this, if you do not do this and awaken the public, then it's going to be worse for them. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting with it. Yep, they're going to get judged. Judgment's going to happen, and it's going to be happening. It's going to be like decisive right away. Just kind of out of the blue, the people are going to rise up. Yep. Do you know what I'm seeing? Like the bad guys are going to have one last ditch attempt to keep a hold of the United Kingdom. It's like the British state's always been bad. Always been bad. Oops. And they're still, it's as if they're hanging on like grim death to the last throes of power. They're in the death throes, I'm hearing, the death throes of the last days of power. Try to bring in draconian laws that the people are wakening up to. Only today, like say in Scotland, we've got a bill that's just went through our parliament about hate crime, and in England their police bill's going through, and it's all about curtailing the public and taking power away from the public, which if the public don't wake up soon, we're going to have nothing left. So, but it looks as if the black, where did I get that from? Where did I get that from? The bad guys are still in power. So they are. So, oh wow. You know, they've got a nothing can touch us mentality of the we'll always be loved and we'll always, and they think they're untouchable. And it's the people's perception of them, how they're received in England. But that's kind of the Tory stronghold in England is less than it was. People are going by their instincts more. People who have evolved from the third dimension to the fifth dimension are using their instincts and using their powers from within, because you know, if it doesn't look right, it's not right, and that's the way they're thinking. The majority of young do not watch the mainstream media, so they're but it'll be their peers. They're just not interested in it. It's whatever their parents say. This is what I'm hearing. Whatever their parents are saying to them. But they're going to start going by their instinct. Something's going to awaken in them. And they're going to see that the world isn't what they envisaged it to be. do you know, it's likes of, no parents, but elders I'm hearing are going to be asking for forgiveness because they let this happen. They've let this happen. I would say this is the public who swallowed hook, line and sinker what happened last year. At the beginning of the year you can be forgiven for thinking, yes, this was, I've got to watch what I'm saying, but now that they know, and they're starting to kind of think, because they went out and took, I've got to watch how I'm wording this, you know, the Jag, as we say up in Scotland, which had a lot of promises with it, which all the promises seem to be taken away now, because it's like, oh, you can't go, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, even though that's what was promised. So they're seeing all the broken promises lying all about their feet, and they've kind of bought into this. And don't get me wrong, there's still people buying into it. There definitely is. Yep, see, that goes with that, because they're starting to feel guilty. But I'm seeing that they're going to start acting. They're going to start saying enough's enough. Enough's enough. I wanted to come out. Enough's enough. And that one. That's it. Oh wow. The bad guys are trying to destroy our way of life and our freedoms and everything. They're destroying it. They've destroyed some of it. And some of it's still being destroyed even as we speak. While putting up a parental role, you know, oh, we're doing this for your own good, you know, like so that person who said you'll own nothing and you'll like it. Well, people are starting to kind of wake up to the fact now. See, I see that as abandoned pleasures, you know, like say taking it for granted that you could just go out, and you could go to the next town, or you could go into, well, this, I'm talking about Scotland, or you could go into Glasgow, or you could go and have a meal. That's all abandoned. That's all taken away while people were living in fear. But I see, and I'm getting told, there's going to be a day of reckoning, and it's going to be humanity's going to wake up. And those who are wakened up are going to waken up the rest of them. And it's going to be a case of decide what you want. If you want to stay in and be controlled and ruled, you do that, because that's your choice, because you still have a choice. But if you don't, it's time to stand up. It's time to stand up. So it looks as if, for now, the bad guys have got control of the United Kingdom. But the good guys are exposing. So to me, it's as if the good guys are allowing the bad guys to think that they're still in charge when they're not really. They're just like, they're giving them, as we say in Scotland, and I think this is overall in the United Kingdom, they're giving them enough rope to hang themselves. That's just a metaphor for, you know, walking into a trap, okay? Walking into a trap. And that's exactly what they've done. They've laid a trap for them, and they're walking right into it. Walking right into it. So I would say by December next year, this year, between December last year and December this year, things will really start to take off, and people really will start to waking up, because luck is on the side of humanity. Okay, so it still looks as if we've got a way to go though before we wake up, everybody, and before that decision's made where do they get up and do they fight, or do they not? Do they remain in a perpetual state of fear, being manipulated every day? It's absolutely, for anybody that's watching over in America or somewhere else, it's horrendous over here. The manipulation of the public's absolutely horrendous. I mean, you can't even watch YouTube videos by they're getting manipulated by the Scottish Government, and it's absolutely disgusting. So I'll just tell you what I know. So we've got an election coming up for Holyrood, and I think the absolute crazies, as I call them, will still get in, and they'll still have a hold of the United Kingdom, both in Scotland, the Scottish Government and Westminster Government, and it'll be up to the people to decide what we really want. Do we want to stay here being manipulated, being having all your rights taken away, or what do you do? What do you do? So I'll leave that with you, and once again, thanks for watching. You've been watching the Third Eye Tarot, and with me and the actual Karen. Okay, bye for now.